Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And I'm curious, besides my own clumsiness there with the centering and the presentation, the intro when I was starting was real choppy, at least on my end. And I'm curious if I've got a poor connection today or if I'm actually going to come through. So for those who are tuned in, blessings and thank you to you. Please let me know if there's any issues or if I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Hopefully that's not the case. Happy Thursday to you all. Hopefully it was just on my end. And as we started, blessings to you all. And today, sincerely, praise God. This is where my words are coming from. So as the stream continues and as you join in, please allow yourself to settle with these thoughts. The idea of praise God. Thank you for today. Thank you for the knowing of being and this day. Blessings and thank you to you. May your spiritual life flourish through the love of today. Now, what does that mean? The love of today. The love of today that is present, the love of today you can find, the love of today you can share, the love of today that you can be. That is the path and the way that I'm feeling pretty confident about, man. Praise God. Knowing and being. Questions. And here's where we're at. As I said, the opening started a little rocky. I don't have slides today. We'll jump through the thumbnail and then I'll probably open the link here pretty quickly. But these are the ideas of today. A little encouragement, words that I've kind of found for myself, this idea. They, whoever they are, they didn't leave you. I moved them out of your way, says God. So sometimes life not sometimes, all the time, every moment, life brings facts. And the facts of life should be accepted as facts. But our minds, we don't always have the greatest purpose. We don't always understand God's will, the greater plan. We don't know what the future will bring. Our human minds don't have the greatest purpose in our stories about the facts, and the facts matter. Sometimes people do leave your life. Some people blame people for what God has been doing, and some people blame God for what people have chosen to do. And it's all kind of crazy. The idea of blame accomplishes nothing. So the lesson I've learned, and it's confirmed through the scripture and the teachings of Jesus, be one. Be one and become whole through God's love and grace. How are you going to find God's love and God's grace to become whole if you don't seek for it? If you don't believe in it? In the background of the live stream is the reminder, love is the answer. See, and life gets generated. The answers we find are going to come through the questions we ask. And if we don't ask the right questions, we can end up going the wrong direction. It's really easy in life to get misled, to get confused. But the glorious thing I found is regardless of how long you've been confused or how long you've been incorrect, you've been wrong, it doesn't matter how long it's been going on, you can change it just like that. Once you accept you were wrong, once you accept you were going in the wrong direction, and then you admit it to yourself, golly, geez, man, I was wrong. And then you look to see what you can improve upon from where you are, and you learn from the lesson, and you change. That's life. That's pretty much life, man. There you go. Now you got life all figured out, and you ain't got nothing to worry about. Yesterday's stream, man, benevolent socialism, holy cows. It was a journey. It was a long live stream. Some amazing variety of guests and personalities joined up. And that reminds me, I've still got that banner going, don't I? Yeah, variety guests. And we actually got over 1,000 views last night. And for me, that's quite an achievement. So thank you to all who tuned in and joined. And I wonder, that might be it. Some strong feelings about benevolence. And there are. Socialism for the rich, rugged capitalism for the working class. In many ways, that's what it is. I've said this before. Those who are successful have learned how to put down their differences and work with people they don't like. They figured out how to cooperate for the greatest good. That's why they're where they are. But this ties perfectly into the idea of people, no matter how long they've been going the wrong direction, no matter how long they've been misleading themselves, these people who've been hoarding wealth, right? Constantly seeking the next great object to purchase and to own. Some of these people, they've been missing out. They've been missing out on a lot of things. I don't know. The name sounds familiar. And here, you know what? This yesterday reminded me, right? Because my critics are many, but even those who care about me have pointed out to me that, Jack, who are you spending time with, dude? What kind of image do you want your channel to look like? You claim to want to talk to Donald Trump, yet look at who you got around. I know, right? So I have ideas. I have ideas on how to move forward and how to continue, but life is what it is. And I'm going to do my best to improve upon things, to maintain orderly conversations, because yesterday, like I said, for the most part, I felt we had some great conversations and perspectives going on. But today, I hope to do the same thing. Have some great conversations, maybe not as long, because I noticed there's a few other, some of my peers are running right now. I noticed OTW Live News, or OTW News Live, is he's doing his thing. And then I saw our friend Proper Instruction Motivates People. He's doing his thing. And so we're all doing our thing today, and then people have options. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful sincerely that you guys are here. I don't know. Hey, so some of these ideas, like I said, I didn't prepare some slides, but this topic, it was reminded through some other, what's the right word? I watched some videos of people talking about the Bible. It was, in a way, ministry, right? So I was listening to conversations and talk about Christ, Jesus. I've mentioned him before. A guy I found online recently, Jamie Walden, I think is his name. And he talks about the warriors of Christ, how Jesus is a warrior. And when you align with God, When you align with God, you're serving God and God is there for you, you feel strong. You feel powerful. And you know it's not your strength. You know it's not your power, but you know it. You know that strength and power are who you are. That's the teachings of Jesus. If you believe in him, it's time to walk the walk, to become as he was, right? Holy desperation was one of my notes. And I think I picked that up from Jamie Walden earlier. The holy desperation. There's so much evidence. There's so many signs in the world today. People are they're in a desperate state. And it's in the desperate state that you can truly find the divine, the holiness. It's up to each of us to find the holiness, the divine aspects of life, and then align with that. You can. I've been seeking to do this for myself as I've been growing in my understandings of the importance of what Jesus was saying, because it is. Forgiveness is your path to salvation. Mercy and compassion bring their own rewards, but it's up to you to use those things. In this life as a human being, there's really two choices. You can be alive or dead. Physically, mentally, emotionally, creatively, you can be alive or dead. The distinction, here's the theory, the distinction between life and death comes through your relationship with God. God, that sounds true. Because through a healthy relationship with God, you get to know life. Because life has been given to you. But what do you know? What do you not know? Boredom is a symptom. It's a symptom that you need to change your perspective. You need to find something to align yourself with. Because when people get bored, then it's true. I just watched a video earlier today. There's evidence and data showing that, showing the connection between sadism, being cruel, and boredom. People will be cruel to avoid boredom. And some of these wealthy people have had a lot of time on their hands because they don't work. They just receive the rewards from good investments. So the devil's been in the world, and it's been found through the darkness. It's shared through the darkness, but the light of life, the light of love, the light of wisdom, the light of compassion, those things are the powers of God. They're the heavenly expressions of God. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. It is true that through God, the light and the dark happens, right? We exist in this realm of duality. Things are and are not what they seem. It's glorious. It is so glorious the way life and language come together. Ooh, baby, the power of truth shall set you free, for sure. Hey, wonderful. We got a guest returning, and with this, maybe I can stay more, maybe my ideas can come out more clearly. So welcome back, Signal. How are you today? Your audio is not coming through, brother. You're not muted through StreamYard. So I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, whoops. When he returns, I'm sure. Thank you. The breaker of cycles. I love that idea, man. The breaker of cycles. Hey, try again.
Are you good now?
Yes, coming through. Welcome back. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I am very happy to see you, Jack. Hope you've been doing well yourself.
I have been. I had an inspiring morning. I didn't get any slides prepared, but I was blessed and was able to have a couple of conversations with friends today. That always helps me feel better.
Friends help along the way.
Signal, that's something I realized. How important that aspect of life is. Human connection. When we don't get human connection, it challenges every bit of your inner being. This is part of the reason one of my real big passions is prison reform. We got so many human beings spending 23 hours a day locked in solitude, day after day after day. That shit is cruel and inhumane.
I think the word would be cruel and unusual. That would make it unconstitutional.
Say that part again. What makes it unconstitutional?
Cruel. It would be the language in the Constitution is cruel and unusual.
I believe it is cruel and unusual, but it hasn't been. I don't know why it's continuing. I mean, the for-profit prison system, America, as I understand, we have the greatest numbers of people in prison, but that might not be true because China manipulates and lies about a lot of their data. So,
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
And that's not us being antagonistic as Americans. That's a fact.
No. Yeah, it's a provable fact. But here's where I'm at. I'm not sure where you're coming from, Signal. I want to thank you, though. You've been an interesting guest for me because at times you've been like a distraction and kind of challenging, and other times it's like you're seeing it. You see.
I understand the message, all right. I'm also, I think it's, this is, Jack, the reality of all this, right? This is, I mean, Jack, I understand that you have a message that you would like to portray, but by and large, I think the audience is here for their entertainment.
Many
by and large. So, I don't know. I think sometimes I do things just to be funny, and maybe it causes problems, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. But I want to, like I said, I want to recognize and thank you for returning again. Because you've got some doubts, clearly, and the doubts are understandable. But you see some of the insanity in the greater world. You're not in denial of that. And what I've been saying, it challenges people's beliefs in what's possible. I recognize that. But that's why I
think sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people that even the idea of cooperation and a unified sort of communication, even that's a problem to them. And what do you do about that?
Well, that's the question. That is the question we're facing, is how do we overcome people's disagreements? Because one of my notes today, the observation of how much people work against each other. And working against each other, it can eventually escalate into wars and conflicts. But we're all here on Earth at the same time. We can find ways to coexist. to cohabitate in peaceful ways. We don't have to keep working against each other. Because if we start working together, woo, baby, we got a high energy guest who's returned for us as well. Did you have anything before I bring him up, Signal?
Well, go on. Let's hear it.
All right. Blessings. And I want to welcome back, but please, I want to say this very clearly, and hope you're hearing it. Let's set the goal so that we not be offensive. Let's pretend like there may be children within ear range, okay? Thank you, and welcome back. Hello, Tom.
By opening like that and doing the typical pre-bring-in of someone, you have already broken that by offending me with it. So allow me to show you what offense.
You're going off to a bad start, I'll say that.
Well, that's you. You're up here posing questions as if you're supporting Jack like he's on the right track. You're like Rose 777. But you asked, how do we end disagreements? How do you get people to work together? Step number 1, be correct. Because you're already incorrect when you say everybody's against you. No, Jack, anybody that hosts a panel makes the claims you make. I'm going to say the same response. So don't you want to be correct, Jack? Don't you want to be right?
I do. Hey,
I never. Go ahead.
Thank you. And thank you. There's a little bit of road noise coming through, and I turned your volume down just a little bit, okay? Because it was kind of hot for me. So
yeah, you're okay.
Just so you know, all right? I don't want you to be surprised or think I'm doing things. So anyway.
Jack, I will be surprised when you show us you're doing things. I'm not surprised that you're not doing things.
Tommy, I am such a fan of yours. I really, really am. And I lost track of where we were.
I don't like smoke. You were telling me why you don't want to be correct, and then I was going to reply with how I never team up or coordinate with people that are willingly wrong.
Okay. I'd encourage you to hear the topic. I don't want to offer criticism. The topic of being accurate. Yes, I want to be accurate. I really do. We live in a world of confusion and opinions. Opinions are a fact to consider, but I've been learning to really challenge even my own opinions.
Facts are not opinions, so opinions are not a fact to consider. Opinions are subjective things.
Opinions.
Opinions are subjective. Facts are objective.
Yes. The existence of an opinion is a fact. When people offer an opinion, it shows.
What do you plan to accomplish with that statement?
Sorry, I wanted to clarify my words. I thought maybe your disagreement.
Yeah, you know how I feel asking for clarification when I seem to be encouraging you to grind people for clarification when you give no clarification.
Tommy, there's been a lot of confusion and unrest around me. And
with you.
That
Jack, to always say people are confused and you're misunderstood, that's a manipulator tactic. It's half gaslighting, half manipulation.
The facts would determine the truth, right?
Right. The facts are, even this glorious young man and his sexy panel friend that came up yesterday that I want a unicorn for, they started calling you on stuff we've been looping with you. And it just shows even new people are going to come into your thing and be like, Mr. Talcott, this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I can use it. I can appreciate that I can use this if like Rose or NPC or Flow State, any of these people that either blindly or sociopathically support you for whatever their agendas are, I can work with that.
You
So at least in regards to that flow state guy, from what I've observed, I don't think that guy. Maybe he's got his own opinions, but he doesn't really care about them, or at least express them on stream. He just wants to stir up shit, from what
Yeah,
I've
and play the
observed.
marketing game.
And in
He
all
wants to
fairness,
stir up
I've been
the
around
marketing
for a
game.
while, and I've observed a lot of streams. That's my observation.
See, Jack.
No,
See, Jack. This
God
is why
bless him if flow state or powder dusty as he's known, if he wants to have genuine opinions, God bless him. But from what I've observed, I don't
this is
think
why I
he
don't
does.
like him. This is
I
why I
think
don't
it's
like him.
just the guy just wants to rile up stuff and get
Thank you.
engagement, which is
Yeah,
fine.
we
That's
got
the
it.
game. That's the name of the game. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, it is a game. I'm not
That's the
trying to play a
name of
fucking
his
game.
That's the name of his game, and that's the name. We've got to accept people for what they show themselves as. We got to accept the truth.
Well, apply that, Jack.
Well, I
Once
have.
again, all I wanted to add about Powdered Dusty, which is a methamphetamine reference, he like
well,
his.
now that we're talking about him, I don't know where he's at.
Let him finish.
Let's have it.
please. Let him finish.
Powdered Dusty, like his boyfriend and his brother Jack, because his boyfriend's Jack's daddy, they all try to be the arbiter of when we get to be serious and when we're joking, and they will tactic. If I want to come be stand up and serious and let's hit the issues, they start cracking the jokes. And then if they're being serious, they're gonna like not allow any jokes. It's all controlled.
I get what you're saying. Honestly, I would say to a certain degree, I feel like Jack kind of engages in that to a certain degree. I think Jack, in all honesty, last stream that, no, well, hold on, that's a separate issue. But what Jack was referring, or Illumitami was referring to, I honestly, Jack, I think you were doing that last stream. I think there were people that were coming up and saying things that were entirely valid and germane to the conversation, and you decided that, as I added myself, you decided that you wanted to concern yourself with your ego instead of the overall message, which is what I would hope is the goal. But, yeah.
So on the other side of that, you are correct, sir. And on the other side, you can watch me get dipped for going in on Jack a little bit, but then Powdered Dusty just reiterated the things I said, and Jack just lets it run.
You say honestly, I will say that you say a lot of crazy things, and that's why you go. Not necessarily like content. You just say a lot of crazy things.
Okay. This is when good will be evil, evil will be good, up is down, down is up. I'm out here shooting straight, and everybody's like, he's a troll, he's crazy, because they're all doing their socio agenda, their hostiopath agendas.
Here, please, thank you. This has been going very well so far, and I appreciate it. And we're going to bring another guest in, and I'm sure we can continue the peaceful conversations and dialogue. Welcome back, Powder Dust.
Thank you. What's the energy that we're in today, Tom?
Me not giving you everything that you're going to repeat and act like it's yours.
Am I joking or am I serious? There he goes.
Did he leave? Oh, damn.
He left.
There you go.
He left. He's not prepared for it. He's not prepared for resolve and peace yet. He still wants to wallow in his anger and bitterness.
Which we all have.
Of course.
Deserved. But the question is, what do you do with that?
That is the question. And consider this, though. How many people do that? You weaponize it?
You weaponize it.
If you want to be cruel, you can. I mean, it's true. And some people, that's their path.
That's what maybe most people do, honestly.
You know what, Signal? That's what I noticed. In the greater world, you look at the patterns, and we've got people who are proud to be victims, and people who are absolutely ignorant that they're perpetrating harm on others. It's a crazy world we live in, and we voted the insane to be in charge. It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
But here, the idea, the topic, yeah, spiritual life and death. It really is. The emotion, it's in so many ways. Our spirit is felt through our emotions and through the body, through our state of being. And you can feel dead in the body. You can feel so bad in the body that you wish you were dead. I mean, that happens. But the idea in the mental arena, which is where the spiritual battle is, the good idea versus the bad ideas, in the light and dark, there's an awareness of God in what you're considering, God being the goodness, and the goodness.
That's where God is. God is the goodness.
It is. That's my relationship. I seek to find the goodness because the goodness is there to be found.
Amen. Is it time to pass the offering plates around the congregation?
It's always time for offerings, man. Hey, Jack Talcott wants your money like Flo. He definitely doesn't believe a word he says. That's a partial truth.
That man has no prosperity in his spirit, in his soul. He's dead inside, like a carcass rotting in the sun. God, please be with this tortured soul, that he may be filled with your generosity.
Oh man, is this guy?
Amen.
What's the name of that guy that you put up?
Kenneth
Lord.
Copeland.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, that I saw something. I'm like, oh my god. There's a clip, dude. They're literally. Oh my god. There's a clip where he gets. I think it's what is it called? Dateline NBC, or is it whatever 2020? He has a reporter come up to him and ask him about his private jet, and he smiles and he grins and he says, "Oh, it's for the Lord. It's for the Lord's mission." And it's bizarre. It's really crazy. I don't know. Unfortunately, this is how things are, I guess.
It's out in the open. The signs are clear, and the the confused, they're bold. It's out there in the open, but mankind, I don't know if people realize how well. I know in my past, my life, my view on the life I was living, my view on the world was pretty small focused. I didn't really consider how much evil is in the world. And it comes in many forms and ways. And there is a true spiritual aspect to our existence. And I'm convinced, man, God is doing something with us. Tommy brought that up, something about with spiritual life or death. We feel dead inside when we're separated, when we feel separated from the divine, when we feel separated from good and love. We feel dead inside. Oh, now I forgot where I was going. But who we are, where the body is our vessel for life, right? It's the temple in which we live. And our purpose, I believe, is to bring God's love and light into the world. That's exactly what Jesus was doing, bringing love and light into the world through grace and courage. If this world was filled with people like that, Donald Trump wouldn't be chosen as the one to lead the nation. I'm pretty confident in that. But we're living at a time, back to where the conversation was, sorry, regarding Kenneth Copeland and the signs of today. This is what reality does. I call it God. Reality shows signs. We learn different things from what the world offers. And then we each get to choose, what are you going to do?
I think that life seems to wear on everyone. The older that you get, the more that life wears on you. And I think, generally speaking, most people's reaction to that is to become jaded. And you can go about that in a variety of directions. Some people make it a joke. Some people come in and they're laughing and they're like, haha, yeah, all these things. And they don't take it seriously because in their mind, they've decided that they're fatalistic. As I said before, they've decided that they have no control, they have no power, they have no ability to change things. And on top of that, even they belittle others that think differently and that they decide themselves. It's not something that is unchangeable. I don't know. And like, here's the thing, right? It's like as corny as it might sound, it's like that Macintosh, whatever, Apple commercial with Albert Einstein, whatever. It's the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can make a change, the ones that do it. And then really it's down to that. And the crazy element, the ones that are crazy, it's often forgotten, but that needs to be remembered because everyone's gonna laugh at you. Everyone's gonna crack a little bit of jokes, everybody's gonna think that you're ridiculous. And that's how it is. Doesn't make you wrong.
Those posters that they hang in like break rooms at work that say like leadership and it's got a picture of a ball.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm referring to. People see exactly that.
Like,
right. You spend 40 hours a week. You spend 40 hours a week looking at that. It makes you jaded.
Why are you spending your whole workday in break room?
I'm not disagreeing with you. You look at that every day. Right, I'm thirsty. I want a little cup of water, right? Oh, it's morning time, right? Let me get a cup of Joe, right? Let me wake up, and you see that every day.
Teamwork.
What is that gonna make?
Jack, what did you say when I left?
I couldn't hear you. There was traffic. What was that?
What did you say when I left?
What did I say when Tommy left?
Bye.
Yeah.
See, I was doing more of my ruthless content. I was showing people how to take a gorilla shower. But this is, well, you don't care about my channel, so go fuck yourself.
I don't care about your channel.
Jack, what I'm telling you is you refuse to respect that I told you I'm done with this YouTube marketing faggot, and I told him a long time ago to leave me the fuck out of his little content games.
And he thinks about me.
You need to use slurs. You don't hear me come in here, nigger this, nigger that, right? Come on.
He can stay. He's not bothering me.
That's not for you to decide, buddy.
He doesn't want to play in any of your reindeer games.
More Tommy is.
No, Tommy doesn't bother me either. I actually like the guy, but he's very disruptive and argumentative and makes having conversations challenging. So
I like him too, but I don't want to hang out with him anymore.
Hey, Powder Dusty, did you listen to that?
Here's the thing, Powder Dusty. You know what you can do? You can
hold on.
Shut the fuck up. Give him a second.
You shut the fuck
all right.
up.
Powder Dusty, you have a problem with the people that are on here. You're not the host. You don't get to decide who is and isn't here. Get the fuck out of here. That's how it is.
Really? Right, buddy? You needed to interrupt with that nugget of wisdom?
Buddy.
All right.
Unfortunately, it does seem like I did. Yes. Go on.
Question now or what? I mean, fucking.
So Zatoichi, yes, take the conversation.
Powder Dusty, did you listen to the song that I sent you?
Is that the one with the lyrics that's like "Signal is a bitch, signal
No.
is a bitch"? No, okay.
If you have a problem,
No, I
you
didn't.
can
I
go
didn't listen to it.
elsewhere.
Oh yeah, you want to go fight? You want to go meet at the playground at 3:00?
If you have a problem, you can go elsewhere. That's how simple it is.
That
We
is
are
true.
having a discussion.
That's true. You're right. I could go somewhere.
Signal, I appreciate the support. You're absolutely right.
I'm not trying to give you any support.
but-
I'm just standing on this motherfucker talking shit.
I
I
know.
have a disagreement. With all
Here,
due respect.
yes, please.
Drink
But-
some more.
But that's just it. Recognize the disagreement and the frustration, but let's just be smooth, okay? Welcome.
Smooth is what I am.
Welcome to Zatoichi. Welcome to Denizen. How are you guys?
Well,
I'm
I'm
good.
all right. I just got monetized today, Jack.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I got my first super chat yesterday.
I got two
Congrats.
tonight. Two $5 super chats, and I was amazed
Mm.
because it was
Probably the
people
last
I
ones you'll
wouldn't
ever
expect. Yeah, probably the last
People
ones.
like
I
people
was
like
amazed.
consistent streamers. They like to come in and like join your stream like whenever they're like free. Oh, that's what I've noticed, especially like the loyal ones, people that fuck with you. Yeah, that's cool.
It's an interesting experience online. There's many people just killing time. One of the things I was looking at earlier, I mentioned I watched a conversation about the connection between boredom and, well, the destructive patterns of boredom. Boredom brings us to addiction a lot because we use that as an escape. We're not facing the inner reality of our life. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, I thought about bringing that up in my monologue too, the reminder, while I'm grateful for everyone who tunes in, look at your choices. Are you escaping? Are you distracting yourself from greater life for yourself?
Yes.
It's what social media does.
But on the other hand, like for example, to get monetized, I had to set a goal, and it was a personal goal to achieve it. And by doing it, it was the act of doing it was better than the result. The journey was the whole lesson, not the destination.
Yeah, 5 goes west.
That's where the key to life really is. The world we live in, it's so focused on the results, right? Where's the evidence? Show me the material stuff. But truly,
it's not. Here's the thing: it's not about the results; it's about the immediate results. Nobody cares about the consequences later.
idle minds are dangerous. Science and data proves that, right? From what I saw, and anyone can look. But so the key is have a greater purpose. Have within yourself a greater purpose for what you want to achieve, what you want to learn, what you want to do. And that way, as time comes up from your other way of living, you're focused on that. And eventually, if you can completely focus your day on what your purpose and goals are, well, you found your path.
I was going to say, I'm envious of that idle mind shit.
I think
how do you do that?
Everything is visualization, and whether it comes true or not, visualization is the only way that you can make magic happen.
That's a start.
Show us your tits.
Who, me?
Show your tits.
Me?
Let's see them titties.
No,
I
but
don't know. I didn't hear the beginning of that. I don't know who we're talking to. I just figured I'd offer
Jump on the
support.
bandwagon.
Bro, that
There's
is
a fifth-
dude, what is that? That's like a Walmart fantasy t-shirt or something? What is
So
that, a
Lord of
wizard?
the Rings, you fool, with Gandalf.
Lord of the Rings? Does that motherfucker glow in the dark?
yes.
It doesn't.
Stop it.
He's
You're
got a
too
black
old
light
for
on.
that shirt and that poster.
Huh? What?
You're
Too old for
glow in the
Tolkien?
dark Lord of the Rings t-shirts. I'm sorry to inform you.
Excuse me, but Tolkien is like reading Shakespeare. It's fucking heavy.
All right. I retract my statement. I apologize. I was mistaken.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
Here, back to the topic, the idea of life and death from the spiritual perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Think about those concepts, truly, what life is. Think of plants or animals. There's a growth, a development. There's a change and a transformation that happens. And if we embrace the material life, we're going to be limited in our choices. We're going to we'll get fixed in our routines and our patterns. But if we get fixed in our routines and our patterns, then we start to get rigid in those things. And then when life brings change, we get fractured. I experienced those things. I went through the transformation of my life, and I went through the feelings of becoming shattered, losing my breaking my attachments to my family, my friends, my career. So I got to experience these things. And actually, this is one of my notes, one of the encouragements I want to offer.
Jack, I think honestly, I think most people that listen to what you have to say agree what you have to say, and I think me myself, my personal opinion, I don't think I disagree with anything that you have to say. I think that at least for people like Potter Dusty coming in, I think you just develop. I mean, it gets worse the older that you get and the things that you experience, but you just develop this degree of apathy. And that's not to say that anything that you're saying yourself is wrong. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
All right. Thank you. Life and death. I've lived dead inside. And I think it was Mark Passio. He pointed out, it might have been him who I got this idea from, and it might have been somewhere else. But allegedly, the elite, the few who have power, they look at the rest of the world as, disposable.
Yeah.
And they see the world, really, the common average citizen, average worker, they're zombies. They live without thought. They're very obedient. They do as they're told. But they live without thought, and then they live without heart. They're dead inside. I used to live dead.
Rather than talking to Donald Trump about it, why not just put some sort of hallucinogen in the water supply so that everybody realizes that they are being taken advantage of and they're slaves?
Wouldn't that be doing the same thing?
How would it?
Well,
You're saying that you're suggesting the idea of poisoning a bunch of people
Not poisoning.
against their will.
Not poisoning.
It's the same idea, maybe even
Encouraging.
worse.
Let's say the word encouraging instead of
It would be the most effective way to cause the change you want. Is to fight fire with fire.
But that's not the goal.
By putting
the goal is not to be the most effective. The goal is to establish
by using fear and brainwashing and control.
No, absolutely not. That's
not the goal. At least as I've seen it, or whatever.
And for Zatoichi, you literally suggested, okay? Keep in context the goals. The goals are to bring peace to the world.
Right.
You literally suggested, rather than speak to the commander-in-chief of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
you suggested putting LSD in the water supply for innocent, unaware people.
That's correct.
Is that what you want to happen to you?
If it worked, sure.
Huh. You're fucking bizarre, dude.
I'm bizarre? No.
Have you ever
You're
heard?
bizarre. You're the one that
Have you heard of Ari Shafir? You know who that is?
Yeah, he's a comedian.
I gotta go undercover
He did that.
for this conversation.
He did that to that guy. What's the guy? Bert Kreischer. Ari Shafir did that to Bert Kreischer, and he like roofied him.
He dosed him.
Yeah, yeah. He like with some ecstasy or Somali, and he like talks about that. And, yeah, that's not cool. I don't think drugging people is cool.
Not cool is people being so ignorant that they allow.
Well, here's the thing. That's one different question,
Couldn't
right?
hear what you said, Tooch.
You can't decide yourself, right? You can't decide the state of other people. You can convince them. You can.
How do you think
sort
I'm
of
trying
talk
to
to them,
them?
but you can't just like put them on drugs. That's not how it goes. No,
that's how the elite do it. That's what they're doing to us now.
Yeah.
So because they're doing it to us, we need to do it to them. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. That's right. Because
I wouldn't go as far as to say that we need to, right? Those are your words. I'm just saying.
Well, that's where
that would be an effective way to program people.
Is that one federal agent looking for dumbasses that he can lure into doing dumb shit?
I'm sorry, what?
Thank you for the pause. Thank you.
I thought you were leaving, bitch.
Hey, Signal, please. I want to point out that the agent of chaos that has come forth, this hypothetical distraction that's unrealistic, clearly not thought through, and then other people are jumping in to argue with the insanity. So please, Zatoichi, you clearly don't respect me.
That's not true. You clearly don't respect me.
There's a reason.
Oh, well, I don't have a reason why I don't disrespect you, even though I don't agree with you.
Actually, how about this? The other part that's more important, maybe, you don't respect what's true. You live in a fantasy. You don't respect.
Maybe you don't respect what's true, and it's a harsh fucking reality that I'm presenting you with.
No, you're presenting confusion and distraction. Currently, and most often, you show forms of denial, deflection.
Really?
Yes, really.
What have I deflected?
When I've tried pointing out to you the unproductive, the irrelevant patterns of your behavior, I've asked you to change, and you want to deflect and avoid and, say, oh, that's you. And
you've asked me to change, but I've asked you to change a little bit, and you have not been willing to change. So we are at a stalemate.
Be specific, because I think you're a liar again. You're lying.
I'm a liar? Are you going to call me a nincompoop?
Be specific. Be specific in what you've asked me to change and that I've failed or refused to change.
Very easy. Very easy. I have asked you to accept the fact that maybe what you are planning to do, which is to talk to Donald Trump and convince him that all wars are evil and that he's going to change the world based on your conversation with him. I've begged you to consider that may not be the most viable course of action.
Okay.
But you still insist that I'm.
You make assumptions, Satoichi. You assume I've not considered you. You assume I didn't consider you. I have. And the conclusion I've come to is your opinion and your doubts are irrelevant They move nothing forward or backwards because you don't respect me or life.
Or life. Did you just say or life and then cap him? That's fantastic.
Oh, that's OTW.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't gone live.
Hey, I'm
What's up,
OTW.
Was that Katie laughing? I heard.
I
Yeah.
forget the name of full name of your stream. I've been on your stream before though. What's up?
Oh my God. Dude.
Hey, nothing much. What's up with you?
Doing well.
Good to see you again, guy.
Cheers, buddy.
Holy
That panel
God.
went full retard after you left, bro.
Yeah, it's totally retarded.
Wait, what? What's going on anymore, man? Holy
Jack,
cows.
Jack, is Tooch still backstage?
No, Tommy is though. Zatoichi, I guess, chose to leave. He's been an interesting character in these live streams of mine. It's fascinating to me.
Yes,
He-
I think you should engage with him some more.
But why? He's
Yeah,
not minded.
Did you hear my flat Earth rap?
Because I caught you projecting in the middle of that.
In which part? Do you remember?
Me, yeah.
It's
Let me
okay, it's
let me
okay.
see if I can think. You stopped, so I kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
But I caught it right in the middle. It was, it was somewhere around where he said he asked you to make changes too.
Okay.
But what occurred to me, because I know him a little bit, is that you guys were saying the same exact thing to each other, and that's why I think that might be helpful for you to.
It was like your emotions met on the astral plane and had a slap fight.
There's a lot of people who come in here that are full
you
of shit,
sound
right?
Remarkably
So
like
they come in here just to
that
troll you,
other
right?
guy.
They come in here, they hate you, and they pretend to be your friend, right? Then there's the people who just want to make content out of you. He is neither of those things.
He's one of the people I've talked about, spends time online. He has no purpose. But he thinks that I should listen to, and the audience,
What the fuck?
my channel should listen to.
That's true. What
Is
you
my
just said, I
shit-
think
is my
both of those.
shit- Is it a black screen? What the hell?
I
is
think
that?
both of those things that you just said are true.
Right
But
there.
I have a purpose. I have a purpose for my greater life, my real life, and I have a purpose for my time online.
You want to talk to people who don't, though, don't you?
No, I literally, my prayer is when I drop the link, people who care about my ideas, as crazy as the idea is, I'm hoping they want to better understand and maybe even get involved. I'm literally hoping to find a way to do what everyone says is impossible. I believe in myself. I believe in the power of truth. I believe God is with these ideas of ending wars. I mean, I don't care about people's opinions, especially ones from people who have no involvement in my life. Day after day, people like Tommy and these other people who have no involvement in my life want to come and publicly insult me and tell me to be different. That's what Zatoichi's been doing. He doesn't want me to succeed because then he'll have to look at his life and realize, oh, maybe I could have done something more with myself.
I'm not so sure about that last part. I think he definitely comes up here to challenge you. He thinks exactly.
You might be reading into the ego a little bit there.
He was presenting.
I feel like Jack.
The
honestly,
feeling that he gets when you talk about what your goal is, how you want to talk to Trump and all that.
The part
That's
where
exactly
I agree with the fatalistic attitude.
When he proposes the hallucination thing of poisoning the water, so to speak, that's to him. That's him giving you an extreme example of something to match the way that he interprets what he considers to be your extremity, right?
Right. And it's irrelevant to what I'm actually discussing or trying to share. So, Denizen, while he has validity to the words, he's irrelevant to my goals, to my purpose. And every time I brought him up here, he just as soon as he showed up today,
So am I, though.
it wasn't any recognition of me. It's straight to, hey, Dusty, did you get the song I sent you?
To a certain extent, so am I, though. I only come up here because I like having these conversations with you.
Right.
We already agree on so much that it's like, you know. But you know that I don't think you're going to end all wars, and I don't have any way to help you with that.
Well, see, and this is where I keep praying people like you will eventually come around. Because what is the harm in trying to help? There's no harm in trying, especially if it's in service of good. But we live in the world that we do because conditioning and insecurity has the world divided. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried. I'm saying let's find a way. And if it's not me, stop insulting me and let's find someone else to do this. Okay. Because I think it's time. I think the effort is at least worthy of, the goal is at least worthy of effort, trying to end wars and bring reforms. I don't understand why so many people think I should repeatedly allow people who don't respect. I mean, Denizen, here's the other side of this, dude. You're literally asking me to do with Zatoichi. He showed up in the back for a moment and then he left again. Tommy's still here waiting. But you're literally asking me to do exactly what others keep telling me not to do. Jack, stop allowing people to join who don't care about you and what you're doing. So what do? I disappoint people no matter what I do.
Well, no. You have to decide what it is that you want this channel to be for and to facilitate, and then stick to it. I would never try to talk
Jack,
you out
the
of that one way.
reality,
But
the
on the
reality
spectrum
of
of
Jack,
people
is
who
that
aren't trying to help you, I think Tooch is more of an ally than a saboteur.
No, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. You haven't seen what I've seen, or you didn't pay attention to what I've seen. Sorry, Signal, you've been trying to jump in and I muted you. Please be mindful that you don't jump in on top of others. But please, what were you saying, Signal?
I think that in these stories, right, movies, books, literature, etc., right, whatever, it gets pushed upon us, especially when we're young, that this idea that being good and doing the right thing will yield a response from everybody that's also equally as positive, and I think the reality of life is that it's not like that. I think you will have a lot of disagreement. I feel like maybe especially in these times, I think at this point in time, everybody, just because things are the way they are, just becomes so incredibly jaded, which I think adds to the challenge.
Facts.
But that doesn't make the message wrong, unfortunately.
I missed
And
part.
what do you do with that? I'm not sure, honestly.
Admittedly, I missed a little bit of what you said near the end. But this thought I was considering earlier. People are so quick to judge and dismiss what someone else says. What I'm saying, I get it's impossible, and then I get I've heard everyone, it's nothing new, everyone said it before, you're just dumb for believing those things. I know
Those
that,
are all shitty arguments.
yeah, but there's been people who build on that nonsense, literally. It's been a crazy, crazy experience. Here, we've got more guests, and Zatoichi has just returned. So
Here's what I would say about Tooch. I think you are the potential to get him to stop resenting your message is there. And then if there's any resentment toward you, I think that would fall away immediately as a result. And I think you can do that without getting him to agree with you.
I missed. What do I do?
If you can get him if we can work on the resentment he has for your message, that would eliminate the resentment he has for you as a person. I think there's plenty of people who come up here and they just resent you and don't like you.
I don't
And your
have
message is
resentment as a
an
person.
excuse
I
for
don't
that.
have
It's for
any
them to
resentment.
exercise their demons. Tucci's not like that. It's
I
just
don't
not
have any
it's not his bag.
resentment I don't have
He's
any
not a perfect
resentment.
man. He has plenty of faults, but that's not his bag, right?
I don't resent you as a person. I resent the presentation of the argument that you're giving me.
Right.
Yeah. And what I'm suggesting is you don't actually understand what I'm offering. You don't like the interpretation you found, but you've been ignoring a lot of the things I've said because you don't like them, or you
Whose
don't.
challenge is that, though, Jack?
It's his.
Are you sure?
I can't force him to understand. I can answer questions related to helping him understand, but the questions he asks are like earlier, imagining some hypothetical straw man argument that doesn't really add value to the conversation. But hey, we're moving past that.
Okay.
So I can the truth. Here's something I've learned. Humanity, we're quite confused. There is no reason to fight over truth. Fighting over the truth enables confusion. It reinforces disagreement.
But understanding where your opposition is coming from and how they think can help you convince.
Jack, do you happen to have
others.
anybody backstage? Anybody like 300 glow?
Tommy is.
Well, yeah.
Like, according to you, Jack, everybody wants to get on the peace bandwagon, right? Because you believe it's going to happen. So why are they talking the way they're talking and fighting you the way they're fighting you?
The biggest
That's what you have to understand in order to,
Dennis,
flip them over.
Let me.
who's in an industrial area besides me?
Oh, Mike had some
Flatline.
feedback. Yeah.
Sure. The one thing, Jack, the one thing I've learned and I've absorbed in everything is that a smile, a positive message, just changing the subject to something good, it irritates the demon in some people. And that's just what I believe. They get just a smile irritates people. And I've noticed that there's a lot of very unhappy, sick people, and they go after people that try to have a positive message, and they go after them with such a viscerance. They try to attack them and break them down. That's what they try to do, Jack.
Okay. Yes, I know. And if I can respond to the feedback of I need to understand, I do understand. I do understand that they don't understand, that they're confused, but they insist on me accepting their opinions, their disagreement. I don't.
When you were searching for the projection, Denizen, it was when Jack told Zatoichi that he tells him what he needs to do different or be different, and he claims that Zatoichi goes, "That's you," and it's like that's the story of the 3-year loop with Jack, that he demands we accept his opinion. Oh, cam off. Show me you can achieve that, guy.
Are you
That's
doing
not
the
what it is.
same
That-
thing?
Tommy, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this.
Here's my problem with the
You
concept
yearn.
of
Tommy,
Illumi-
you yearn for
Tommy,
Jack's
Decorum,
You're
acceptance.
not
please.
saying anything that's
so
you're
badly.
not saying anything that's incorrect, but my problem is, aren't you doing the very
What?
same thing?
How about
Who?
this?
Why do
about
you
this?
demand Tommy? Why do you demand
How
that
about
Jack?
this? Please, Signal and others, please recognize the host. Okay? We'll try and maintain a little bit of order and we can get through these conversations together, please.
Are you the
But
host?
everyone talking at the same time is
Yo,
very,
Jack, why don't you let me cook, bro? Come on.
because I'm trying, as I said, Signal, I'm trying to maintain a little bit more order here. Because what I'm
I
saying,
hear you, but I'm just saying I'm trying to cook. You know what I'm saying?
I know, Signal,
Yeah.
please don't think your wants override what I see happening here. Okay? Because I'm very aware.
So like, what do you think? You're a Hitler or something?
He thinks
Oh,
he's
it's
on his
been
own
made.
panel, for
Shout
Christ's
out
sake.
to
Jesus Christ.
Why? Like,
Shout the Talcott.
He thinks it says Jack Talcott on the front. It says live without fear in the corner. That's what he thinks.
Finally, you got rid of that fucker. He interrupts every single goddamn time, man. He's
He
relentless.
brings stuff, but he's new. He's new to us. He brings stuff.
He does bring stuff.
He does bring facts. It's just right in the middle of somebody else's sentence.
I'm okay that he's on a break because I didn't want to have to explain 3 years of the question he was about to ask. So, Jack, off of what you were saying while I was in the back, let's just start from scratch. Jack Talcott, Illumitami, Panaverse president, extreme investor of things. I hear you want to end wars, and I have a lot of liquidity that I want to collaborate into investments and the things. What can you tell me about this operation that you have to end wars before I go investing copious amounts of slave fiat into it?
I have no clue how to answer that question, but you did inspire me about options for the wealthy people. I have a theory. There's a lot of people who are very wealthy that would be willing to sacrifice a lot of their resources if they believed it was going to make a difference, but they don't see a way to make a difference. I do.
No, they make the difference. You can't claim that they have power and then act like wealthy people are wondering how to make a difference. But I'm trying to show you something, Jack.
All right. I'm
I
trying
have
to
the
get
investment.
the benefit of the doubt, but I'm wrong.
Role-playing here.
Sorry, what?
We're role-playing here. I'm giving you the opportunity to show me why I should invest in the act of you ending wars.
Let's think about the human lives that would be spared, that would be saved.
Everyone dies. Everyone dies.
Well, let's create a reality where we save human lives together.
We do
That's
that.
what I'm suggesting.
Well, we save lives, but also each human holds their last-ditch responsibility of their own life retention. Some people throw it away.
No, we're here to serve the greatest good, because the greatest good is God. We serve God by being the vessels of love.
Oh no, I'm also a God-serving Christian. That's something. Oh, then you can find another venture. We are not appointed to end wars. God is actually using war.
No,
He requires.
right. God used war to create the lessons so that mankind could learn the value of peace. I have.
Right.
I want to share
you
that.
haven't. Those lessons are still continuing because your son is going to have a kid, and that kid will have little.
Tommy, I've learned many lessons. I hope to share the lessons I've learned regarding the value of peace. The peace is here. It's in the present moment. All we've got to do is stop fighting. Align with the facts. God's will is for us to be here and now. Let's be with love with one another. Please?
Well, Jack, I'm here at your investment gathering for you to give us your PowerPoint presentation. You've slightly offended me as an investor I am a God-fearing Christian, and you
That's
are not
crazy.
dictating my religion.
Yo,
correctly.
Jack, you remember when you made your thumbnail photoshopped? You photoshopped
Derail.
your face on the Hitler.
Yeah.
No, that was Talcott Clip Collections. R.I.P. Talcott Clip Collections. We miss you. We love you.
Right.
Well,
That
Jack
too.
was always on the fence. He loved Talcott Clip Collection. So I'm Cynthiaing the name. I always Cynthia the name.
Jack, real fast. Signal, are you here to support Jack or just make a clown of yourself? Because you look like a clown, bro. Every time you come on, you look like a drunk. Are you drunk or you have a head injury? And I'm asking
Here
you
he
that honestly.
goes. Here he goes.
I'm asking you
attacking.
honestly.
Crazy.
Can we pose that question to Mike? Can we
That's
pose that
ironic
question
as
to Mike?
fuck coming from Mike too. You
Right,
guys gotta admit.
Projection, Mike.
Jack,
Projection.
how is love the answer when you're Hitler? What? I mean,
was
seriously.
married.
It was a
Hitler was
joke.
married and he loved Germany. He loved Germany.
It was a joke. Talcott for Führer, for leader, for ruler. I suggest we rule with love, serving love, sharing love, growing love. It's the way to live. It's what Jesus
How is Hitler love in literally any way?
wasn't. He wasn't. I want to take over the images. I want to rewrite our future because they rewrote history. History's been built on a bunch of lies, guys. We know it. We know
You
it.
can't. There is an amount that the winner, would you not agree that the winner, I mean, is it they're not their win right to narrate? But there's an amount of history you can't rewrite to an outright lie because people still go on. People were in the wars on both sides that survive and move on. You are YouTube tinfoil right now.
We can end wars with love. When
War-
we love
is fine,
more
war.
than money, when we love peace more than money, we will.
Love is why a dude will go off and die trying to take a gun bunker because of love.
No, misinformation will cause him to do that. Because
There ain't no misinformation about Small Mustache and the Germans trying to conquer the world and people that love their family and their freedom and their lives and their land going off to stop that. God bless America. Land that I love.
Tom,
What? Very disrespectful. Mike, take your hat off next time.
God bless. God
Even
bless.
atheists.
Tommy, I'm extending peace with you. I'm extending the branch and the offer of peace, Tommy. Please
Right, as
consider
you
it.
drop close on me, turn my volume down, backstage me
Jack,
for God knows
Jack,
how
these
long.
people are in such a world of hurt. It's so sad how hurting they are. It's just so sad, bro. It's just so sad. It's insult after insult after insult. And as soon as you preach the word, they go crazy, right? Like you're hitting a hornet's nest.
Where was the insult?
Tommy, you have
What's
an
this
inner
guy
demon. You have an inner
Tommy's
demon,
being
bro.
perfectly objective right now, and he's being funny too.
Aren't you a Satanist? Aren't you a Satanist?
Mike?
Aren't you a Satanist, Zach?
No,
Wait.
I'm not a Satanist.
Read the room, Mike. Read the room.
Fucking Hindu,
Mike.
you bastard.
Yeah.
And
What-
Signal, you're drunk. You're drunk
Mike.
24/7. I
Mike.
feel bad.
Hey, projection, Mike.
Mike. Holy
Just can't go
fuck.
that long without it being about him. It's fucking
Oh my
crazy,
God.
dude.
Saron is the biggest lolcow on YouTube, and yet he claims that I am.
I am impressed. There's like 4 channels that make fun of him, and he doesn't have a channel. 4 channels when you don't have a channel making fun of you.
That's crazy. That's it, guys. Stream's over. Jack's pissed off. That's it. Stream's over.
Well, there's clear patterns here.
You just
I'm
handled
trying to
that moment
figure
of
out-
frustration rather well, Jack. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, I'm trying to figure out what do I do with this because I don't know who said it. A bunch of people
Embrace
talked at the same time, but I've attracted a bunch of lol cows. People who are just fucking clowning around in life and kind of look like jokes. So what does that say about me?
It means that you have to stop letting Cerrone up on your panel, and then you'll be free of the lol cow.
That is what they think of you, though, Jack.
Yeah, I know. So does Zatoichi and Signal.
What? Wait a minute. What? What do I think of you?
That he's
What?
a lol cow.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're a lol cow. That's why I'm warning you against the real lol cow that is Cerrone.
Huh. Anyway, welcome, Margot. How are you today?
I'm well, Jack. I put down in the post that ending wars starts in kindergarten, and
Yeah.
I think ending wars would be treating these people like kindergartners. They
Elaborate, please.
Well, I mean, Denizen, you're not guilty of this. I think you're brilliant. You know, when you're in a classroom, some people are against order within a classroom, but it makes sense because if everyone's talking at the same time, no one's hearing anything. So I think, if someone can't wait their turn up here or follow your lead, bye bye.
Put him in a timeout. You put him in
That's
the corner.
well,
You see
now
what
they
this
get
dickhead is
a
writing in the chat? I wrecked that last night. He's so sad. Yeah, I'm so sad. Do you see me crying? Do you see the tears coming?
he needed a timeout. Perfect, Jack.
Yeah, he needed a
In
timeout
our
too.
classroom now, we give a couple warnings. You're on a green card, then you go to a yellow card, then an orange card, and then red card. Bye bye.
Word.
But I don't teach
That is
kindergarten. I'm in
awesome.
high school, but it works in high school too. Yeah.
Margot, can
Yeah.
you help me make like a yellow, orange, and red card for my panel? Can you just email me what it looks like, maybe like a JPEG or something?
Well, I'm home now because we're out of school. Today was our last day. But once I get some cardstock and my laminator back home, I'll make them for you, and I'll have them sent to you.
Thanks.
Wow. Amazing.
And
That is
and in kindergarten we usually make the green circle. We make the green one a circle, and then the orange or the yellow is like a yield sign, and then the red is like a stop sign. Because those are important things to learn as well. But that's all I have to add, Jack. I hope you're doing well. I got timed out in your chat because I said something inappropriate, so I apologize, Jack. And I will see you later. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
blessings. And
Bye.
thank you. Appreciate you joining, Margot. And that is actually wonderful advice because, well, another part I've actually learned from Margot in many ways when she communicates, even with me when I'm frustrated. I've witnessed her do an excellent job at maintaining calm and communicating peacefully. So I'm sure she's had a lot of practice as a teacher, and really childish behavior on these public platforms, it makes sense because we got a bunch of children that existed through trauma and they're still living with that pattern of thought. We live in a world where people are confused. It's been tough on them. Mike, thank you. You weren't wrong in the things you were saying, Mike, okay? But it was the way it was coming out. Thank you for resetting and chilling.
Go Yankees.
Agree.
And we've got,
I just don't. I just unfortunately I'm very reactionary, and I apologize, Jack. I should be more chill. When someone attacks someone I like, I just get reactionary, and that's one of my faults. I apologize.
thank you. And I encourage you, it's a sign for you to grow. It means there's a pattern. You found the pattern. So now what's the strategy? Because we don't want to lash out at others. We don't want to tarnish how we are, right? Because there's a lot of characters on here, and it's really easy to become just like the bitter ones. But here's what I know sincerely. The words from the Bible They ring with the truth. The truth is there. It stands out. There's a spirit of life that everything we will ever experience is within this one expression of life that we are. Our whole life, we're here in the physical form, but there's spirit aspects. The spiritual life can become as soon as you give yourself to God. I had this conversation earlier. Am I crazy? My thought process and logic is, number one, I have in my heart, God is, right? And it's as Jesus spoke. And so with that faith that I am with God and I can be with God, I can be one with God as Jesus was one with God. Well, I'm here. I'm limited in my mind. So what I've done is, God, my will has gotten me to here. It's been scary. It's hurt. I've caused damage along the way. So God, please take this will from me and let it be yours. I humble myself and I seek my will to be God's will for me and others. And I know God's will for me and others is to be with love. That's our path, our freedom, love. Go ahead, Mike, please.
It's kind of like this, Jack. To submit is sublime. To submit is when you give yourself, right? But the problem is that if you come from a past of trauma, let's say your entire life was war, against yourself, against others. It's almost near, it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult to find that path to let go and just walk away from everything in the past. And that's what I struggle with, is all that past stuff. Not now. My life right now is easy. It's calm. It's chill. I'm older now. But in my teens and my 20s, it was chaos. And that's why I get so reactionary. So you're right, Jack. It's to let go. Just to let go of everything in the past and just move on. You know?
Brother, I'm so glad you
That's all
brought
it
that
is.
up. That was one of the points I wanted to reinforce today. This idea, I want to encourage, create a practice within yourself of letting go. Think about the results of letting go. You become free. And when you're free, you can embrace becoming renewed, because we can start over anytime from wherever we are. We can change and renew ourselves. It's all a state of mind. Success and failure are going to be found for you in here. So look for
What do you think about death, Jack? How do you? I mean, like, given your experience, you're like, you've been a soldier.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with death? What do you think about that, if you do?
I'm curious. I look forward to experiencing what happens after this. But I used to fear death. I thought I feared death, but truly I feared life. I feared living. I feared change. I feared love, because I had felt hurt in the past by those who I loved. So when I felt love, that was like a trigger system. Oh shit, you gotta be careful, man. You can't trust that. And then distrust and fear create self-sabotage. And so I broke away, walked away, and overlooked healthy relationships. And I found myself the crazy ones, man. Praise God for the crazy ones. They were fun. Like you were saying, Mike.
They sure fuck.
People, people that have near-death experiences, you feel so macho, so machismo. I'll go out, but then if it does actually, you come to the edge, you think about leaving everyone you love.
Come on,
and you get terrified of leaving people
you
that
can't
you
say
love.
that, bro. Come on, this guy.
I can't. Why can't I say that? because I've had one. I had a heart attack. I've had a heart attack a couple years ago. That's true.
I just cracked a joke about sex, and you're saying
So it's not a joke. The joke is that you're making light of it. The joke is that, you know, when we can talk about how we can talk about how. Hear me out. Hear me out. We can talk about how. Okay, it's a panel. We can talk about how tough we are, but when you're on the cusp, when you're on the cusp,
referencing what I was saying earlier.
Okay, I'll wait, Jack. I'll wait. I'll let him ramble. I'll wait.
Please don't.
I was
speak
making
over.
a reference to what I was saying earlier. That's not personal, buddy. All right, go on, Mike.
It's not personal. What I'm trying to say is that we act so.
Can we let Tommy jump in? Sorry, Mike. Yes. Tommy has been patient. Are you there?
So you're not really dropping me in to hear what I have to say. You just want me to take care of this for you. Very strategic.
No, please. That's not my intention. I wanted to give you another opportunity to join the conversation.
By your tyrannical mod god wrenches, they thought that if one time I all caps, which is for emphasis, I don't talk regularly in all caps. Jack, I'm surprised you don't have tits and a goat head, because you completely said it backwards. You are supposed to be praying that God's will becomes your will, not the other way around.
Right.
And you're not supposed to be praying. You're not supposed to be praying to change other people's free will and listen to come to God.
Your disagreement is illogical because what you said is the same thing.
It doesn't have to be logical. It's biblical.
I seek that my will align with God's will. And I trust that God's will for me is to be true. It's to be honest. It's to actually walk with the fruits of the Holy Spirit, just like the book says, man. It's what we're supposed to live with. Love and joy and peace and patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
What would happen in that world, honestly?
Oh,
I feel like it's almost like humans are just too corrupt.
They're not. Actually,
isn't that the creation of man, right? The Adam and Eve, the corruption.
Signal.
I don't
consider this. Regardless of the stories of the past, take what you know of history, of your own past history and the greater history, and then realize we are here and now, right? Shit. Faith. Oh, faith. In my darkest times, right, my life fell apart. The foundations of my life fell apart. I no longer had the support of friends or family or a job, security. It was all gone. And I felt lost and alone, really hopeless, and wanted to give up. But I didn't know how to give up because I couldn't will myself into death, and I didn't want to kill, right? I don't want to make a mess. So when I
wanted to off myself, I thought all of these things, right? You don't want somebody to have to deal with,
right?
Scraping up. Yep. So what I thought was, you know what I could do? I could go get eaten by a bear. Or something like that, right?
That's considerate of you.
You are, contributing to the local ecology, whatever you call it.
Signal. That's considerate of you. I remembered where I was, though. When I finally was broken, I started looking objectively at my life. And I had found the idea that God is there. God is there, and the idea of Christ is there. So I've also found, looking at nature, that there's an order to everything. Everything has a purpose in the order of the bigger picture. So that means there's a purpose for me. And if I'm still here, if I'm still going somehow, despite all the odds, despite all the opinions, if I'm still going, then God has trust in me. It means there's a purpose
Jack,
for it.
I
And God
hear
has
the.
faith.
I feel like I hear that, but maybe your opinion is more has been developed more. You're older than me, right? In all fairness, but I feel like what I've seen, right? Again, maybe some more experience would change the opinion, but I feel like people are generally like there's no correlation between the good that you do in your life and how well off you are. Like there's a lot of people that don't deserve the success or the gains that they have, ill-gotten gains even.
Yes.
And so I don't know. I understand the benevolent attitude, and I do feel that.
Are you
And I
atheist
feel
right
like
now?
it would be nice. It would be nice to. I'm Catholic. It would be nice to
Okay.
assume like that
Sure.
everybody is all good and all meaning, but and I don't
Isn't
know.
God all good?
It's a
And
very. I feel like I like to think that people are generally benevolent, but unfortunately,
They'll prove you
doesn't seem
wrong.
that way always. Right.
Right. They'll prove you wrong. But here's what I've been learning. Science shows this, and logic makes sense of it. Who we become is in great part where we started and what we experienced, right? Because through genetics, we'll create our physical and some mental identity, but really we become who we are through what we experience. We were born into a world of lies where physical oppression has been dominant, right? Aggression is normal, war is normal, abuse is normal, poverty is normal. This shit is not normal. It's the sign of the insane, because only the selfish, well, the selfish are insane, because the selfish will lie. They won't respect others. They'll manipulate the truth. They'll distort what's real. But what's real matters. And truly, the messages of Christ, it's simple. The topic today, spiritual life and death. We can live in the light of giving or in the darkness of selfishness. It's a perfect design because there's only one. We are that one. It says in the Bible, God is one. We are a part of that one. So let's be holy. The idea of holy desperation earlier. When we really get into the darkness, we get desperate. And when we get desperate, we turn to God. And I tell you what, when people turn to God, God is there. God is there to receive with the truth and the answers and the love. And I believe that's why we're here. We are all messengers of the Most High. We are here, sent by heavens to bring love and wisdom into the world. That's my goal.
Jack, he just lays and waits. He just waits for you to come to him. He just lays and waits. It's all, Jack, it's a waiting game. It's up to you to find him. It's just a waiting game. It takes some people 10 years, it takes some people 50 years. But you're always going to find him somewhere in life, you know.
It may take lifetimes.
Yeah.
It may take lifetimes to recognize. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
And Jack, some people find him on their deathbeds. They find him as they're passing, and then because they shun him their entire life, but he still, if you love him, he'll accept you. Even in the last minute of your hour, he'll still accept you if you give yourself to him. That's the difference. It's all about submitting to our Father. That's all it is. It's that simple. It's not complicated. You know,
No.
people try to make religion, Jack. People try to make this so, all these different steps and no, just get on your knees and tell him you love him and tell him you'll do anything he says and follow his rules. And that's it. And you're going to heaven. It's that simple. That's it. And then if you need something, he's going to give it to you if you need it.
It's not just, see, I think this is where the Christian religion has distorted things. I mean, Station 33's got his disagreements. The Bible does not support oneness, Christ consciousness, enlightenment. You're right. No, you're not right. In the churchian interpretation, in the common orthodox interpretation of the words, you're right. The Bible supports division. It supports war. It supports oppression. Hell, some of the people believe that
That's crazy.
the Bible supports stoning people, right? Capital punishment. It's time for mankind to look to what is right, righteous, what is true. Because in the world we live in, it is duality. It's God's perfect creation. There is darkness, dark and light. There is good and evil. But beyond that is the true story of oneness. It's all one thing. When we humble ourselves, inviting in Christ, Jesus, to sit as Lord over our thinking, we keep God and love in our mind as you go through your day with a heart at peace and gratitude. I am absolutely confident that God is, if this is real life, like if you think you're real and you think I'm real, if this is real life, God has been preparing me for what I don't know. What's in my heart, what I want to do is share the messages of live without fear with the whole world. I want to speak to the United States government and the diplomats and representatives at the UN. I'd really love to speak to all the state leaders and invite the world to embrace the truth.
Noel, are you here to like show your tits or what?
Please,
come on, get on with it.
God, that's not acceptable, dude.
Yeah, that's not cool, dude. That's not cool.
Hey, welcome back, Lewis.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you.
There he is, the man of the hour. What's up, brother? What's up?
What's going
What's
on?
happening? What's happening? Moose is the man. What's up, man?
I appreciate that. I'm a man. Amen.
That's right, brother. That's right, brother. Let's do it.
So what's going on?
The topic today, spiritual life and death, it's in line with our real life experience. We can live with life and, the infinite possibilities of life, or we can live dead to new ideas. We can close our minds and embrace the limited aspects of life. I was about to bring Tommy back up. So we'll give it another chance. Tommy, we can all, oh, he left. Fabulous. The goal is,
Jack, one thing.
Yeah, please, Mike, go ahead.
Jack, one thing I wrestle with, me personally, I wrestle with the 10 Commandments, right? So the 10 Commandments, basically, if you break these commandments, then you're doomed, right? You're doomed to, go into Hades, right? But then also the Bible says if you truly, atone for your sin, then you're forgiven. So so sometimes religion makes you feel so loved, but then it also scares the crap out of you. It literally, So I think religion is almost like it keeps you on edge to try to live your best life, to try to give you a guide to live your best life and make the best decisions. That's what I'm trying to say, Jack.
There's good qualities to be found for sure. There was a thought I meant to bring up earlier, and it may be totally off base from what you were talking about, but something that I think each of us needs to be aware of. We need to be aware of our state of mind, because if we don't master our minds, well, we become pretty stupid. You get controlled by others and you don't know what you're doing. Learn from everyone. I encourage you, pay attention to what life is showing, and don't be so quick to assume what someone else is going to say, because you can get inspired from a lie, right? There's often truth in a lie as well. So liars will still tell the truth sometimes. It's quite foolish to write someone off just because of what you think. And I'm saying this because of my personal experience. Part of my reputation has been, according to several viewers here from the past, according to them, I'm a liar. And nothing I say should be trusted. That is foolishness.
Jack, what do you think is the biggest downfall to man? You think it's jealousy or vanity? Either jealousy or vanity. What do you think really kind of is the detriment of our psyche?
I'd say yes, because those are both, they're both vanity. I see that as pride, and jealousy, I see that as insecure, right? So it's two sides of the ego, lacking balance. What is our downfall? Humankind, individually and collectively, the downfall has been dishonesty. That which is not loyal to the truth cannot be trusted.
But Jack, it's so easy to lie. We just can't stop lying. We want to make ourselves out to be more than we really are. We want that echelon, that we see that person doing better than us. So I'm going to lie to get to that level. I'm going to rip this person off. It's the way the human mind works. It works against itself. So Jack, you're right. If you're honest and open and you drop hate, you will transform to something different. But it's so hard for people to do, to accept it. Because you know why, Jack? Because when you do that, you're viewed as weak by others. You're viewed as weak. But actuality, you're stronger than the other people doing that. That's the difference. And that's what I'm learning. You know, to be humble. The meek shall inherit the earth, Jack. The meek.
All others will lose control. The prideful will stumble in their confusion. Hey,
Jack,
and what you said something there that I don't remember the context, but one of the greatest lies we tell ourselves is I can't. That is bullshit. I can't means I won't. And if you're going to take control of your life, you get to choose what you do. You choose what you can do, not what you have to do. But we live in a world where people have been conditioned with obedience, and obedience teaches people, oh, you can't do that.
Jack, you have to. The psychology of different kinds of people is fascinating. I mean, like we used to call it people watching. Or people watching, just watching how people interact with each other. It is a fascinating case story. But it helps you look at yourself within. But you're right. I mean, the human mind is so unique. And I think God created this this being that we're so good at some things, but we're also so bad at some things. So it's up to us to figure out to live our best lives. But Jack, I love talking to you because you try to break it down intellectually, spiritually, and you try to tie the two together. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to figure out, okay, the psyche mixed in with religion, and I just think the bottom line is this. I think human beings, we're our own worst enemy. We're our own worst enemy. And when we can figure out how to stop being our own worst enemy and let go is when we become what we're supposed to be. We'll look like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. That's a good analogy.
Sorry to interrupt. Speaking of worst enemy, I think Tommy's back.
He is. Yeah. I may bring Tommy up in just a moment. But what Mike was saying, absolutely true. We become our own worst enemies, and it makes perfect sense. We've got self-destruct mechanisms built into our design. If we're not going to respect the truth, if we're not going to respect others, we're going to destroy ourselves internally with fear and resentment. We'll see ourselves do things that we'll feel guilt over. But the biggest thing is a lack of respect for the truth. Excuses. This is a question I've been asking myself, and I ask others, ask yourself. Between excuse or reason, when does a reason become an excuse, or when does an excuse become a reason? When is it justified and when is it just another distraction? Because the idea of I can't, that creates our spiritual death, because the spirit knows it can. And the way to destroy ourselves, the way to diminish our self-worth, is to see ourselves refusing to do what is good, and to see ourselves doing things that we know are not good. That's a path of self-destruction. So the key is to realize there's a spiritual battle being conducted through our lives. If you allow it to be true, it's true that the light is already won. There is no more battle within me because the light has taken its place. I've chosen. So within us is the Spirit of Christ. All that is holy, all that is good in your life will come through you, for you, to share with others. Or it'll come into your experience for you to share with others. But there's the Christ-like potential within us. And then there's the adversary, the accuser, the one that wants to place itself superior to the truth and manipulate the truth, distort the truth, withhold the truth. That part is evil. Every one of us, for there to be peace on earth, individually and collectively, we've got to win the battles within. It's time for us to stop being lukewarm. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're not. Let's make a commitment, a devotion. I believe, this is my personal path that I've found myself on, but I found a lot of reasons to support me making this choice, devoting myself to a life for God. What does God want for us to do while we're here? Tommy, I'm bringing you back. I've been going on a while.
More disciples, and you have to be one first. I'm not lukewarm. I show up and tell you you're wrong, and you tyrannize me for it.
No, you jump to conclusions, and I.
Nope. Okay, let me make you an offer, Jack. Let me make a gift unto you, brother Führer Talcott. I got these guys tagged in my panel for tonight that want to misnarrate my record-breaking public panel pop. And if they don't show up or until they show up, I would like to offer you my couch so that you can show us your these things even when you don't have mod god abilities.
I'd appreciate that opportunity. Is there
I'd
any way
appreciate you don't bring the word gymnastics.
you start awful late though? I don't know what your plan is, but I would appreciate the opportunity.
You got a job tomorrow?
No, dude, I'm kind of old sometimes. In different ways, I feel my age. Staying up late is part of it. I prefer to get up early. I'm trying to get more in that practice of getting up early.
Well, Jack, there's like six different schedule types. That's why I find late at night I'm doing my most efficient computer work and stuff. Just because some farmer gets up and goes to bed at that schedule doesn't mean it's you. You sound like you're just doing stuff because somebody else does it.
I mean, what you're really saying, Tommy, is after the crack hits, you're more awake and you're ready to do your work.
Moose, how long have you had the keys?
What?
How long has Moose had the keys?
He hasn't.
Can I ask Tommy? Can I ask you an honest question? Tommy, I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. Tommy, are you ever happy? Are you ever happy? Are you ever like happy? Do you ever enjoy your day? Are you ever happy? Because you always seem very angry and upset, and it's got to be hard to go through life angry all the time. Like, well, maybe it's because I've never heard you laugh. Maybe it's because I want to be Mike Cerrone's best friend, and every time I see him on Ham Banana, he calls me a faggot. I didn't. What are you talking about? Are you? Okay, so I'm not here to talk. But Moose, are you? This is how you talk, Moose. But are you, Tommy? Are you? If that's how you are, Tommy, I'll accept you. I'll accept you if that's how you are. But the problem is that I'm only at. Well, listen, I'll accept you. Tommy, if you like, Tommy, if that's the way you live your life. That's the way you live your life, okay? All right, brother? All right, brother? Whatever you you never seem happy. You always... Jack, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to create chaos. I'm not, because Jack's got a headache. But Tommy, the problem... My initial question was this. Are you ever happy? Do you ever wake up and go, man, this is going to be a great day? Man, I really appreciate my friends and family. Because every time I've ever seen you, you always seem upset.
Let's let him answer, please. I'm curious.
Moose, I didn't type a damn thing in the backstage. The act of you knowing that I came back, you got them keys, you little lying piece of shit, non-man. Jack, I'll see you in a little bit.
It's fascinating. I was curious how you knew.
Jack, he literally... Jack, in 3 years on YouTube, Jack, I've never seen anyone more in crisis than him. More in crisis. Like, he is literally, he needs some...
Dude.
I've never seen anything like it. He comes up, meth mouthed out, yelling and screaming.
No.
One sec. So you asked how I knew. At 6:24 p.m., Illumitami put in the back chat, "They're both wrong." That's how I knew. And then he goes on to say he didn't type something in the back chat, which he actually did. So he's a liar. And there's no conspiracy here. I'm not here to like hurt Jack. Like
no. Most thank you.
And the whole thing.
Thank you.
And Jack, the whole thing with him saying that I made that slur, he was acting very feminine one day on a panel, and I just asked, "Are you? Are you?" I didn't accuse him of anything, because I mean,
that's perfectly normal conversation.
Yeah,
is to ask somebody if they're a faggot.
Are you? Are you? I didn't say that word. I said, "Are you gay?" And he just went crazy. Now, if he wasn't, he would say, "No, I'm not. I'm not." But he went ballistic, and he won't stop talking about it, which gives validity to maybe he is, allegedly, possibly.
No,
that's not.
It proves it beyond a reasonable doubt. Guilty.
Yeah.
No, here's. Golly jeez. We overcomplicate life so much, individually and for each other.
Jack, the bottom line is this. This is the bottom line, Jack. Tommy needs your guidance so bad he can't even see it. He can't even see that he comes back every single day to attack you because you're the father figure that he's missing. And that's the truth. That's what I believe, and that's only my opinion.
I agree with the conclusion. Now, what's behind it? There's a lot of variables, but in the end, I trust that God has brought us all together. And Tommy's a great guy. I know many will agree with that. I know many will also agree that Tommy is quite offensive. And I kind of figured this too. If we play different relationships out with each other, and you know what? Some of these people, some of these children were not raised very properly. Some of the grown adults we get joining these platforms. So it kind of is, like Margot had brought up, it's like little children up here. They need some discipline. They need some healthy expectations placed on them. And I guess it's better late than never. And while I don't really enjoy pointing out what people are doing or the flaws in what they think, I don't really enjoy pointing that out, but I know that people will feel better once they accept the truth. Because if you accept the truth of me, then it means it's happening. The world is about to transform. The day of our Lord, the day where the truth is set free, and we no longer participate in the banking lies and the political lies and the religious lies. We start living together with harmony, in harmony with the truth and with each other. Praise God, man.
But I think also, Jack, I think a lot of the times we take a lot of abuse from people because they are reaching out to you. But I think if you start to get stressed, if you start to get overly stressed, let them not come back for a day or two. I'm not telling you what to do, Jack. I'm just saying, because just give them a day or two off just to cool off and come back more humbled, more humbled person. Because when they come on your panel and they continue to disrespect you, they think they're winning, but they're actually losing. They're actually losing the battle,
Mike, that is a sound perspective, sound reasoning, and I agree with you. You argue with fools, how wise are you? And you got to accept some people, just isn't the right temperament for the day. And actually, we're at 2 hours. I ran long last time and a few times. I think it's time to start wrapping it up from here. Mike, and to all of you, thank you. Thoughts?
Jack, what an amazing conversation. What an amazing panel. God bless you, man. Moose, salute. Denizen, salute. Thank you, Jack, for having me out. This was actually a very impactful conversation, and thank you, Jack. Moose, you're the man. Love you, man. I'll see you guys later.
I agree. Thank you, Mike. You were a big part of that, for sure. I appreciate that. And it looked like Moose hopped out. Denizen, your thoughts, your ideas?
Bye.
Much love and appreciation sincerely to all. Praise God. Thank you to all who did tune in, who did join me today. May our spiritual life flourish through the love of today. And if you didn't find love of today from me or through me, well, I'll try to do better tomorrow or in the future if it's not tomorrow, but I'm truly confident. There you go. Believe it, and you can see it. In this world, we live in a kind of a backwards world, right? People don't want to believe in things until they see things, but it's actually the opposite of that. First things in life, anything in life, it's first created through the mind. Every idea, every project, every creation from the human design, it's going to start through the mind. So believe first that greater things are ahead of us all. And the message of today with the spiritual life and death, the idea is to practice letting go. Allow yourself to become free. Change the story if need be, but be true. Be true. Be loyal to the facts, stay loyal to the truth, and honor your love. Protect your love. Be with love. It's all up to you. Because in the end, God's given the power of you to you. My idea, I want to give my power back to God. I don't want to be the one who is responsible for knowing what's right. I just want to be present, and I want to be with love. And as I am present and be with love, I trust that God will reveal the right answers for me. And I hope I got to be a messenger for some of the answers for you. If not, do the like thing, the subscribe thing, invite, share with others, and we'll see what the future brings. Peace is the purpose, and love is the answer. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless us all. Peace.